Hello guys, my name is XRelic, and you guys are watching another Search and Destroy Elite Sundays upload here on Yeousch Reloaded. And what we try and do with these uploads on Sunday is introduce some of you who are not familiar, are not comfortable with the Search and Destroy game type, and kind of introduce you guys to some of the basic ideas, and hopefully get you guys comfortable enough to play it sometime. But what I'm going to be talking about today is the idea of rush routes. Rush routes is a really basic and really essential tactic in doing well in Search and Destroy. Now, there are two types of rush routes. One is called the flanking rush route, and one is called the cutoff rush route. A flanking rush route is a route where you try and take a really quiet kind of backdoor route and try and get behind the enemy and shoot them from behind. Because if you shoot someone from behind, the enemy really doesn't have a chance to kill you, and you'll be able to get a few free kills. And every kill you get in Search and Destroy whittles down the enemy team by one guy. They won't be able to respawn, and you'll have a huge advantage from just eliminating at least one guy. So using these flanking rush routes, you'll often be able to take out 2 or 3 guys before they realize that someone is behind them. And the cutoff rush routes are equally important, if not more important, because a cutoff rush route is a route from your spawn to a certain point in the map that is extremely important. It could be a cutoff route, it could be a bomb site, it could be just a choke point on the map, where if you take control of it, the enemy team won't be able to use that point anymore. They won't be able to go through it anymore. And a cutoff rush route is really important in getting map control. Now, when I say map control, I don't know if it's a commonly known thing in respawn game modes, because I think it's, well, map control in Search and Destroy is pretty much as important as having spawn control in respawn. Once you have spawn control and respawn, you're able to take control of the enemy team and kind of dictate how they play and where they're going to be. It's the exact same thing with map control and Search and Destroy. You can dictate the play once you have control of the map. Because if you have the bomb site, if you're able to control a bomb site, then they can't get to that bomb site without killing you. And you'll have a huge advantage because you're already posted up, you've taken control of the area. And it's just a huge advantage to take map control. And rush routes is really helpful in that. Getting from your spawn to a certain control point as quickly as possible before the enemy team can get there will give you map control in a lot of different scenarios and be a huge help in winning the round and winning the game. So while I won't be going over any specific rush routes on any specific maps, I'm going to kind of give you guys the basic idea behind rush routes, and hopefully you guys can kind of figure it out from there. And I'll also give you guys some tips as to what you might want part of your class setup to be when you are trying to do rush routes. So if you guys are playing Search and Destroy and you pull out a rushing class and you guys kind of think, where do I want to rush to? There's obviously 2 places that I've already talked about that you guys should think about. One is high traffic areas, and you want to get to a point where you can kind of cover that area and take control and kill anybody who comes through that area. And you want to take control of bomb sites. So if you guys are kind of thinking about, where do I rush to? Can I rush along the edge of the map? You can rush on the edge of the map if that's a flank route that you want to take. That's a really effective strategy if you want to get behind them. But another really good thing is taking control of specific points, such as the bomb sites and really, really busy areas. Some parts of the class that you might want to use if you are trying to do a rush route include the perks Lightweight, Extreme Conditioning. Those 2 are pretty much mandatory in doing a proper rush route, because if you don't use those 2 perks, you won't be as quick as you would be without it, and someone on the other team may be using that and may beat you to a certain control point and kill you. And you don't want to die in Search and Destroy, because if you die, you're out for the round and you have to watch your teammates struggle to win without you. On top of those 2 pretty much necessary perks, there's another choice for a perk that experienced Search and Destroy players seem pretty split about. It's whether to use Dexterity or Tac Mask on a Russian class, and there's arguments made for both, so I'll kind of give you guys the basic idea. Tac Mask is really good if the enemy team is throwing stuns and trying to stun people who are trying to rush, and at that point, Tac Mask is extremely useful because you won't get stunned pretty much, and you'll be able to win a lot of gunfights when they expect you to be stunned. While Dexterity is also really helpful, because when you're using Lightweight and Extreme Conditioning, you're going to be sprinting a lot of the time, and using Dexterity will bring that gun up to firing position a lot faster than it would without Dexterity. Also, Dexterity increases your mobility a little bit, because you'll be able to climb and use different rush routes where climbing is involved a lot quicker, and that's actually why I use Dexterity. I like to be able to mantle certain things a lot quicker than I would without Dexterity, and that really increases my options when I'm trying to do a rush route. I can go a certain way that would take too long if I didn't have Dexterity on. And speaking of stuns, back when I was talking about Tac Mask, stuns are a great idea when you're trying to use a rush route, because there's often a time when you've got to cross through a line of sight to get through to a different rush route that you want to take. So what I recommend doing is running at least one stun, throwing that stun over to a head glitch or something like that where they expect, where people always are, and they're trying to catch you running across. And if you throw a stun, they'll get disoriented for a second, and you can just continue rushing, and they won't be able to shoot you. So running one stun is really effective and will usually keep you alive whenever someone is sniping through an alleyway or something, and you just want to quickly run through the alleyway. And there's also an attachment on your gun that you might want to use. Adjustable stock is extremely helpful when doing rush routes because your gun will be aimed down sight and you can just aim on top of a head glitch whenever you do have to kind of approach the head glitch. Because if you're just sprinting at the head glitch full force and someone pops up behind it, you're going to have to aim and shoot at the exact same time at the head glitch. And a lot of people have trouble with that. I have trouble with that. While the person is just already going to be aiming over top of the head glitch and shooting at you. So one thing I recommend doing is running adjustable stock and aiming at the head glitch and just strafing towards it if you do have to go that direction. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit about rush routes. It's a tactic in Search and Destroy where you try and take control of the map, essentially, which is extremely important. And Search and Destroy, in my books, is 50% tactics and 50% gun skills. So hopefully you guys learned a little bit about a certain tactic that is pretty successful in Search and Destroy, and that 50% will succeed a little bit more often for you guys. So thanks for watching, guys. Come check out the Search and Destroy Elite if you haven't already. You'll see these tactics and more being implemented into really high scoring gameplays for Search and Destroy. So come check us out. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!